Welcome. In this session, we would focus on the erosional and depositional landforms of glacier. Now, we have comprehensively covered all the major landforms, and those are very important for your competitive exam purposes. But today, we would be covering few of the major ones in quick summary. So, whenever there is any landform formation that happens, it can happen either through the erosional features or through the depositional features. That is, when the agent is in early age or early stage, it would lead to erosion, and during its later stage it would lead to deposition. So let's say when we see a river flowing, what happens is the river in the early period takes away the sand material, the gravel material along with it, and it is called as the youth phase. It is considered as an equivalent phase to a human life, a young child, right? So that is where the depositions go along with it. However, then there is a mature stage, finally the depositional stage, where the deposits which have been brought through the erosional period start to deposit around the river, right? So the same happens with glaciers, the same happens with wind. So we would be understanding in this lecture the major glacial landforms, the erosional and the depositional features. So under the erosional features, the first is the cirque or the corrie, as it is called as in French. Now this is a arm shaped structure, as you can see. So it occurs like an arm shaped structure, and this is formed when a glacier actually moves along it. So as the glacier moves around it, it creates a structure which is of the surface of a backrest or an armchair, and this is what is called as the cirque. Now this usually has a small lake which is known as tarn, and therefore this is a very unique characteristic of a cirque. Now some of the interesting cirque are in the Lake District of United Kingdoms, the Grisedale Tarn, as we can see. The next is the Atri. Atri is basically you have one cirque formation, another cirque formation, and another cirque formation. So what happens is towards these they would join to form a wedge shaped structure. So as you can see, there is one cirque formation here, another cirque formation here, and if the cirque formations are more than 2 or 3, as you can see here, it would lead to a formation of what is called as horn. So atri is where two cirque actually merge and create a back-to-back erosion and lead to a formation of a structure which is known as atri. This is seen in the Striding Edge in United Kingdom. Similarly, horn is seen in the Matterhorn, that is one of the most famous tourist destination in Alps, we can say. The next is, as the glacier moves along, the glacier structure would go and it would take along with it the moraines, the deposits, right? So those deposits could be terminal deposits which are towards the end, the lateral deposits, and two glaciers coming together forming a median deposit. So those are called as moraines, right? Now this glacier, as it flows through or it moves through the region, is of a structure of U shape and creates a valley shaped structure, and since it's a glacier structure, a huge block of ice which is moving, it would be a U shaped valley which is created. Now this valley is very characteristic because the floor is wide, in contrast to river where we see a V shaped valley because the river is narrow and the river would flow through this. However, glaciers are broad and they would flow through this region. So rivers have a V shaped valley, glaciers have a U-shaped valley. Now a classic example of U-shaped valley is Yosemite. Then is the Hanging Valley. When there is one U-shaped valley which is at the main elevation followed by another U-shaped valley, so this appears as if these valleys are hanging, and it is called as a hanging valley. Now this hanging valley is a unique phenomena. It is also seen with fluvial glacial landforms as well. So with the fluvial as well as the glacial landforms, and Bridawell Falls in Yosemite is a good example for this. Now depositional features, as we said, glacier brings along with it deposits. These are called as moraines. Now these moraines could be towards the side, which are lateral moraines, towards the end or the front, which is the terminal moraine, and when two glaciers come together and in between there is deposition, it is called as medial moraines. Moraine Lake in Canada is one of the very interesting lakes, which is a classic example of moraine lake. However, they have been named for its moraine dam as well, so an interesting place. Then is eskers. Now eskers are structures like this. So there is a Sinius ridge which has sand and gravel structures through which the melt water of the glacier flows, and this is called as esker. Mason Esker in Michigan is a classic example. Then are drumlins. These are the structures like this. Now they taper at one end and are in the tapering end is in the flow of the ice, right? And they occur usually not as one but in groups, so they are called as drumlin fields. One good example is Clew Bay in Ireland. Then is the outwash plain. Once the glacier moves along from a region, there is the meltwater streams which remain there, deposit the flood, the sand and gravel by the flood flow that has happened from the glacier. And one good example is in Iceland. Of course, Iceland has numerous glacial structures, so of course this could be one of those. So outwash plains, another important depositional features. So in this lecture, we have focused on major erosional and depositional glacial features. More detailed comprehensive lectures on physical geography are available in the description below. So thanks for joining in. Have a great day.